I'm all for having a clear path. And what I mean is this. When I am unclear on something, or I have something in my mind that I would like to achieve, but it just seems so far away, it's easy to think, I'll never get that done, I'll not be able to do it, I'll not be able to achieve it. And I always say that's because it's a future. And when we can't predict the future, our brains think, oh, I've got a lack of prediction, I'm not sure how to do this. It starts to stress us out and we end up not doing anything. We stay stuck, almost like the rabbit in the headlights. So here's an example. This morning, part of my training session, the conditioning part, was in every minute on the minute, where you do an exercise or exercises within a minute, and then once that minute elapses, you go again, and it's usually for a time period. Mine was 20 burpees, 15 minutes. I'd already done a hard training session. That was the end part. And my brain saying, I'm not doing that. I don't think it wasn't that. I don't think I could do it. I just thought, that's just too big a task. That's 300 burpees in 15 minutes. I've done more than that in the past. I've done crazy things, but at that moment in time, I was allowing my mind to go to the future, and the future I didn't like. It didn't look enjoyable to me. So I thought, okay, how can we change that? Well, how about let's just focus on the minute and not allow myself to think about minute 15. Just think about minute 1, then minute 2, minute 3, minute 4, and keep going like that. And that's what I did. And because then I've made the focus on the now, very now, this present, I'll focus on exactly what I was doing in that moment. I didn't even start thinking about the 20 burpees. I thought, Christ, 20 burpees every minute. Right. And I like burpees, by the way. It's not that I don't like burpees. I thought, right, I'm going to focus on one burpee. Then the next, I'm going to count and focus on 1. Then I'm going to focus on the next number after 1, which of course is 2 up to 20. Then I'll stop. I'll take the time to rest until the next minute rolls over. And that's how I did it. And all of a sudden I was up to 300 burpees. Did I die? No. But this is the point. It's the fact we're too busy thinking about the future and these big things. Whether you set a big goal. And I'm all for setting a big target. But then I'm all for, okay, what is the process? How can we, or how can I, or how can you get there? And that's when I step it back. So what's possible? Then I'll start looking at the steps. Okay, so we've got this achieved target, this objective in this length of time. Now we get to break it down. Okay, let's say it's 6 months, right? I want this in 6 months, whether it's a new physique, stronger, leaner, or could be a money objective, whatever it is. Break it down by month. If it still feels too big a step, break it down by week. If it feels too big a step, break it down again until you find the smallest possible step that you can take that actually feels good and that feels that you can actually achieve. Because the problem is that people set these big audacious goals, and I've done it in the past, and then they get stressed out, they get this feeling because they're not clear on how to get to that goal. They don't set the steps. They don't, not only do that, they don't set the steps that's comfortable for them. And this is the problem when they go to other people. Other people set the steps. Now sometimes people need a kick in the arse, I get that. But if you know why that objective is important, you shouldn't really need a kick in the arse. You should know that's what you're going to do. I just need help to get there. But then when you start trying to live up to someone else's ideals, someone else's expectations, it might not feel comfortable for you. So even though that objective could easily be achievable for you, because you're living under expectation of somebody else, then you might not get it, because you might be told to take too big a steps day by day, which feel too uncomfortable for you, and then you just retract, and then you stay in the same place. So here's the thing. Find out what steps you can break down so you can actually take right at this moment in the present time, whatever it is. So for me this morning, the example was burpees. 300 is a massive amount in 15 minutes. Okay, let's split that down. Well, that's 20 every minute. Okay, let's focus on that then. Does that sound right? Let's think, okay, well, let's just focus on 1 burpee at a time, 5 burpees in bunches of 4, whatever it is. And it's done. But that could be anything. It could be any exercise. It could be a weight loss goal. It could be a money goal. It could be anything at all. So don't be afraid to set the big, kick-ass, audacious objectives, if you like. But then break it down. Break it down to the smallest step that you feel comfortable and feel good doing. And then do that again. And don't keep focused. Just maybe remind yourself of the fact, but just take the steps. What's the next step? What's the next step? And watch where you get to. Until tomorrow, take care.